Okay, just a note. So when it streams, actually the noise from this room will be live.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So is it streaming now?
It's now streaming.
Okay.
Everything's live. So it's that visual and this audio.
Okay. But if we decide we are everybody's speaking English and it's fine in English, then you switch it here, do you? So if respondents speaking English fine,
Yeah.
you switch
No, it's at the back. So
what in the office?
yeah, we'll do it that side. Yes, yes.
Okay.
Or what we do as well, and then it's just like this, like that. And if it's like that, all of that comes through this side. But then it's more faded. It's more like to give an overlay effect, that's all. It's not really to have that pure. So, yeah, the recording will unfortunately just be this room then. But it's basically just a button that I press from the computer that side.
That's fine. But basically we need to determine what language it's going to be in. We need to check out everybody's language ability when we start the group, and then we're going to have to say to you, we are relaying it in English or we're relaying it in Vernac.
Perfect. So maybe, how long will it take you to...
I mean, we're relaying it in translator's voice or respondent voice.
Yeah. So how long will it take you? 5 minutes?
Yeah.
To establish that?
Yeah.
So maybe I shouldn't start the recording for 5 minutes for introductions and so forth.
Okay.
Maybe they can introduce each other, not talk about the product or the research, and then in that time you guys can let us, and then I start the recording on the correct thing, everything's perfect.
Well, it doesn't matter. I mean, it can start in whatever.
Is it?
Yeah. So and then we can just switch it over because we can just explain to the client that this.
Yeah, for them it will be
what's
perfect. They will just have a nice overlay. They'll suddenly hear the room.
Yeah.
So it will go over from this room to that room.
I think
it's easy
because
for them.
the higher LSM, I think we're going to be relaying the room rather than this room.
Okay. Not a problem. It's a click of a button.
Yeah. Okay. So we
I'll do that.
come and find you and tell you what to do.
I'll be in reception.
You're going to be there.
Definitely.
Okay. All right.
I'm on this voice overlay and live streaming myself.
Okay. So
I'm making sure that everything runs smooth for you guys.
I'm not seeing anything on. Oh, okay. It's there. So if it disappears, do we just refresh?
You can just refresh, but what I did is I just set everything up correctly.
Okay.
Because Jamie set it up just from what she knows, and it was sort of just a quick thing for you guys to do. So what I did is I set it up now to stream, to go on streaming eventually. Okay, so for you, this side, all you're going to need is this button,
Okay. Is that the
so
volume?
that's for your earphones.
Okay.
That's literally just volume up, volume down.
Down. Okay, cool.
You can even hear it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so I'm not putting it that loud.
All right.
The rest is, if Leslie says, okay, well, she wants the room to hear the room better, it's basically just this normal speaker.
Okay, that's fine.
You don't have to press anything
Else there?
No, everything's perfect, yeah.
Not a problem. Thank
Cool.
you. Okay then.
And are you comfortable with it here? Like this?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
it's fine. Thanks.
it's one per device for 24 hours.
Did they give you this for the
No,
when they come?
just picked it up straight away.
Did it?
I didn't have to. Yeah, it's just picked it up from when I was last here.
Oh, which one was it? Guest or the normal one?
No, it was the
Thank you.
rooms.
Okay.
Yeah,
no,
just picked it up.
We've already got 1 or 2 people on the
The
lock
respondents.
one, so the guest one will work faster for you guys. We
Okay.
try to split it between the groups.
Okay.
So we are expecting some people
So,
in the back room.
so I'll just move here in case some of them wanna
Yeah.
sit and type or whatever.
Can we just test your audio that is coming through?
Okay. Do you want me to just speak to the mic?
Just speaking, and I'll just put my sound up to make sure that it's coming through here.
Hello, hello. Can you hear it? Is that fine?
Karen?
It's fine, yeah? Hello, hello.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's quite mute, so I don't know if we can do something, because I'm on my full, there's a delay on it.
Yeah, there is a delay. That's what I want to say. Like a few seconds.
can you quickly talk into the mic?
Hello, hello. I think it's got a delay. Hello? Because we tested it and it had a bit of a delay earlier.
There's no sound. Maybe does she put a sound off?
Maybe, yeah.
This is a MacBook, right?
Yeah. Maybe just wait for her to come in and put it on then.
Sorry, I'm spying a bit. Just want to see what they're saying because she's not here.
Okay.
Okay, they're saying they see the same woman coming in and out. I think they're just a bit confused with the delay, maybe. There's obviously a bit of a delay.
There is a delay. We tested it earlier. There's
No,
like,
I know.
yeah.
But as soon as everything's happening, you'll see that everything goes together. The sound and the display will be all at the same time.
Okay.
It seems confusing now because people are going in and out and we talking here and things aren't lining up.
Okay.
Leslie will let me know because I've got this switch here which I've set now
Mm-hmm.
and then I've got a switch at the back
Okay.
to make your voice even louder.
Okay.
But on this side you sort it now. So if she says anything about the voice, I'll sort it on my side.
Okay.
By the way, your hair looks stunning.
Thank you, darling.
I have to tell you, you always have short hair.
Thank you. How are you guys? Thank you for coming. Please switch your cell phones off. I'll start by introducing myself. My name is Balisa. This is what I do. I'm in research. Thank you for all making it and making it on time. We really appreciate it. We are recording the discussion, and the reason is that we're not taking notes. So it's important that we all speak one at a time, so that we get to hear what everybody has to say. Okay, I think we are going to have fun, or at least I hope so.
So I'm hoping that it's just not just there. I don't work alone.
I don't work alone. I've got colleagues sitting behind the mirror. They're taking notes and listening in as well. So they might have a question and they might knock on the door. So just bear that in mind. That's how we work as a team. The important thing is that you speak up, so that everybody can hear us clearly. We're also video recording the session. So it's important to make sure that we don't speak together at the same time. But if you do, I'll ask you to speak one person at a time.
I would like everybody to just go around the table.
I'd like everybody to go around the table, just to briefly introduce yourself, and just bear in mind that in this research session, there's no wrong or right answers. So just tell us your name, who you live with, and if you can also tell us a little bit more about what you enjoy doing or what you aspire to do in life. But please keep it brief, because we've got a lot to cover. Anybody's welcome to start. Hi everyone, my name is James. I live alone. I enjoy drinking quite a lot. And I just enjoy life. I work hard and I'm very ambitious. I like to try out new things as well. And that's pretty much about me. Hi, my name is Musa Ramokwa. I live in the Rodiport area. I'm an entrepreneur in the traveling and hospitality industry. I love traveling. I live alone. I love trying out different places to eat and different places to drink, and that's basically me. Afternoon, everyone. My name is Fiso. I also live alone.
So I'm a quantity surveyor.
I'm a quantity surveyor. I have my own consulting firm, and I run most of the projects myself. I really enjoy going out. I'm always out and about with friends. I think it's more of a lifestyle thing. I tend to go home and have a drink every night, so I'm already accustomed to such a life. When I get home, I have wine, whiskey, or beer, whichever I feel like. Thank you. Hi, my name is Kwezi. I'm from Pretoria. I live with my wife.
It's a bachelor's program. So,
I fairly enjoy going out. I enjoy going out with my friends. I've got a very active lifestyle. So I do enjoy going out with my friends for a drink or two. I enjoy doing a lot of sports, outdoor sports. And that's basically me. Thank you. Hi, my name is Vuyo. I live alone. I've been in Joburg my whole life. I work in Centurion, so commuting is a big thing. I'm currently in the IT space, working for an investment firm in Pretoria. I'm always with my boys over the weekends. We drink quite a bit and we have a good time. Hi guys, my name is Michelle. I'm a very open-minded person. And currently my friends and I are working on an NGO. So that means we travel a lot to different places. I like traveling. I'm an introverted, extroverted kind of person. Sometimes I just want to chill out, watch a movie, and have a drink. And sometimes I'll go out and have a good time with my friends. Thank you, gentlemen. Nice to meet all of you. Just to start off our discussion, I just want to find out a little bit about your lives. You've told me that you like to go out and drink. And when do you like to drink, particularly whiskey, and which brands do you like to drink? I'd say every day after work. Just like him after a long day's work, yes. I have 2 drinks and then I go home after that. I'm very open-minded. I tend to drink whenever I feel like it, or drink whatever I feel like on that day. I'd say I drink on a daily basis. I stop by for 1 or 2 drinks after work. After a long week in general, on a Friday, I'll just get to my place, relax and have a couple of drinks. Which brands would you like? Do you prefer drinking? It depends. Sometimes it would be Johnny Walker. But what does it depend on? It depends on my mood, actually, which brand I drink. When I'm at home, I'll drink Johnny Walker, but when I'm out, I'll drink something else. Why is that? It's just the whole old mentality. In terms of drinking Jack Daniels, it's more like an outdoor thing for me, an outdoor drink for me. And when I want to relax, I drink my Johnny Walker. I normally drink on weekends, occasionally during the week, after I've had a long day sometimes. Sometimes we need to declutter and get my mind off work. So I'll have a drink, and I usually will have a whiskey like a Jameson or a Johnny Walker. I also like having Jack Daniels, so I keep them in my cupboard at home, because it's a thing we do at home a lot. And occasionally, if I do go out, I'll also have that on the weekend with my friends. Why those specific brands? I feel like when I started out, I used to like drinking a lot of Jack Daniels. And that's how I got introduced to whiskey. But then I got more sophisticated over time. I started learning more about Scotch whiskies, such as your Johnny Walkers and so on. And I like the taste of it, especially the Johnny Walker Black. So I don't know why specifically those ones, but I really like the blends more than I do the malts, because they tend to sit quite well with mixers as well. So that's why what I enjoy. Please do help yourselves to something to eat and drink as we're talking. What about the rest of you, Sfiso? I drink on a daily basis. Like I said, I think it's about to become a lifestyle now.
I buy my house that's another thing. And like I mentioned, I'm more seasonal with my drinks. I come from a hot place. My hometown is Bushbuckridge, so I tend to shy away from your whiskeys when it's hot, because I feel like it increases my own temperature as well, you know. So I will be more into beer when it's hot, wine and whiskey when it's actually colder. Like on a day like today, I find it a mission for me to actually go straight into a beer. And as well, after meals, I can't stomach beer anymore, so that's when I actually go towards my whiskeys after meals.
And what whiskey, which brand of whiskey would you?
My utmost favorite, or the one that I was introduced to the very first time, or getting into the whiskey brand, was the Chivas 12. And I dwelled into the single malt. However, with your Glenfiddich, I can't do the 12. I prefer it from your 15, the rich oak, 18, and the likes of your Lagavulin, Glenmorangie, Telenska as well. Those are like your single malts that I really enjoyed. However, within the Gin Walker collection, I'm sure you should know the Spice Route, the Explorers Club collection. Those are some that I also would get.
Okay.
So it's the Spice Route, and I think there's the Gold Route and the Royal Route as well that I had over the years that I tend to enjoy. The Gold is nice, the Gold Reserve as well from the John Walker clan. But yeah, at some point I was into the John Walker swing. Yeah, it was just a trend. I think even the shape of the bottle was making a bit of sense for me.
Okay, all right. And do you guys buy whiskeys as gifts?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, they make good
It's, our man, friends who actually like whiskey because I really don't like it. I feel like it's quite a mature gift to get someone.
Okay. All right.
So yeah, definitely do get some gifts.
I've only bought it when a couple of times when somebody's hosting like lunch, then you'd go with a gift of a bottle of whiskey.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, definitely. I follow his trend. The times I have bought it, it has been for a more mature crowd. Young guys that don't really appreciate it as much. They're more into the gins and the vodkas and the get me hyped up stuff. So yeah, the older guys when we're having family functions, uncles coming over, dad's birthdays, buying Gentleman Jack and those type of things. That I've done a lot.
A
that
lot.
I do. It's actually a proven recipe for me. It works. That's my
Okay.
template.
Okay.
So I keep it rolling like that. Yeah.
Okay. So now, and how do you decide which brands of, brewskis, or how do you choose which one you buy? As a gift.
Okay, look, I base it on trends. Usually, when you see it's usually for people that I know prior, being uncles, being dads. You see what they buy when they buy, and it's not gonna be your first watches. It's not gonna be your other things. Maybe the bells will sneak in there and there, but usually it's your blacks going up. You can get the finishes 15 and up, and those type of things, like the more refined, proper whiskeys. So yes, from that I actually dictate from what past
What you
patterns are
see.
there is correct.
Okay. Crazy.
Yeah, I remember for my wedding, I actually ended up buying about 2 cases of whiskey. I bought 1 liters, and it was just to make sure that we cover them for, I'm from the Eastern Cape, so that's like what they like to drink there. So
What did you buy? Which
I
case?
bought Johnny Walker Blacks and Jameson, and it was also for my uncles and my friends, when they were coming through, give them a bottle of whiskey that they can enjoy the day with,
Okay. All right. Okay. All right, guys. Now, just from here now, and I'm going to be showing you some ideas, right? And I would like to just, when showing you these ideas, I will reveal one idea at a time. We will concentrate on that idea, get and talk about it, and then once we've gone through it in detail, then we'll look at the next one. But with us showing the first idea that we have, we just need to make sure I'll just reveal it, everybody to come down on the board to see. And we are going to do self-completes as well. So it's important that we do not speak. So you go up, you look at whatever is it that you see, you come up, we've got self-completes. I will actually hand out the self-completions just to make sure that everyone has one. Just pass. There we go. Do you have pens?
No.
It's fine, I'll get them. So you just write your name and you write group 1. So we are going to go up into the board to look at that, and then we are going to fill in, the first question, and after that we will move into to the second and to the third, like that. But we are not going to discuss anything, okay? So it's just important that for this idea that you keep your opinion to yourself. You can leave your pen and paper there, and then come back and put it down. The first idea I'm showing just for my recorder is idea T, okay? So you can all just come close, have a moment, and then go back to your seat. Please come through, because it's important that if you close, because there are things that you will not be able to see from a distance. Please walk by. Alright. So you can come back, fill in the first question. It says, imagine that today you were looking for a gift. What caught your eye the most and why? Okay. I'm gonna cover it. That's why I asked you to come and look. After you fill in the first question, you can then do the second question and the third question. So with the second question, if you've done with the so, what comes to mind, right? What comes to mind when you see this and that? Okay? So answering the second question, what comes to mind when you see this and that?
Are you talking those two specific
Just
ones?
these two specific ones.
Alright, got you.
Yes. So that's question 2. And then it will be the same for question 3, what I pointed out. Are you done?
Just you've got A, B, and C under 2.
Yes, this is three words, right? So 1, 2, 3. So A, B, and C for that.
Okay.
It says write 3 words or phrases.
Okay, cool.
don't turn the page yet. Be a good student and just stay there on that page. Are we done?
Yeah.
Are we all done? All right, now we can turn your page over. Now, for the next part of our discussion, I'm going to give you 2 minutes to draw or write down anything that you remember about the peg designs that I've covered up. Okay? So, 2, 3, so I'm going to give you, everybody's going to get a page. So 2 minutes to write or draw. And I've got colors, pens, anything so that you might want to use. There you go. Please feel free to use color and pens, draw.
Don't mind that.
So, yes, please draw, and you just have 2 minutes. So anything that you can just write or draw anything that you remember about the PEX designs that I've just covered up, particularly the ones that I showed you. I'm going to try and create space while you guys do that, and I'm going to put the food over here, and then you can just feel free to stand up and come and grab something to eat, because I'm going to need the space on the table. We should be about finished so that we can continue. And I have that jar as well. So guys, please do feel free to come through when you need. I just need space on the table. You need to have something. Okay. So you can put that away, and then can you just keep your glasses maybe closer to you, and then fine, you can do that. Just in case, I just want that.
What do you
that
want?
one.
Those are
Yes, and the glass.
gloves.
Thank you. I have to just put that down there. There's some space. There. everybody can see what's happening, right? Okay. If you want to stand and look properly, please do so. So now, as I'm showing you, I'll call this the T idea. Now tell me, what is the first thing? So this is the whole idea, as you can see it. What do you think? What are you thinking about these designs?
To be honest, the first thing that comes to my mind when I see this, I'm thinking kids. These are kids' colors, and I find that it will draw kids' attentions more than adults. You know, when I look at whiskey, and I would not think about this. These colors are just a bit too much to comprehend from my side.
Okay.
I'd say first thing that came to mind is something being celebrated. When I saw this with the recent design also being the Game of Thrones design that I saw. So for me, it's something being celebrated.
Okay, so you just saw some celebration
I saw
of some sort.
yeah.
Okay.
Same here, like I saw like there's a theme behind like what
Yeah.
is actually going on.
And what was the theme in your head? Because you say you saw a theme.
Like some sort of maybe celebration or something.
Some sort of celebration as well. Okay. Review.
What I saw was something completely out of character, contrast. And what I figured what a refined whiskey like this would be and who would appeal to, the colors here, especially, I mean, like this one. This is straight cartoons. That's what I saw. So I think a lot of people that would rather buy this for the name that they're buying Johnny to actually sit with the uncles and whatever, something like this would repulse them. But maybe you may appeal to a younger crowd.
Okay.
But it's, to me, it's completely out of character.
Okay. All right. So let's see on your first page. What did you write? Tell me about the words that you wrote down. What words did you write down?
I wrote thing being celebrated, cartoons, all packaging.
Let's hear somebody else.
Mine is quite interesting. First one was distasteful, cheap-looking packaging, and childish.
Okay. All right.
I think they took a different turn.
You've
But
got.
I feel like they were bold, confident, very exciting. Sort of just try something new.
Okay. All right.
I also thought that it didn't look like your typical whiskey branding, and it's not very sophisticated, and it's less appealing to the whiskey crowd.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So I thought it was colorful, like fun, seasonal, like they kind of like playing with the whole thing, and also like it was hip and different from like your usual whiskey blends.
Okay. All right. And so, what did you circle in terms of the emotion?
I circled number 1.
Number 1. Okay.
that was outright shock.
Okay. All right. Shock. Okay. All right. What did you?
The guy is smiling very. He looks very happy.
Okay. So the number 2.
Number 2 as well.
Number 2.
I went number 7.
Number 7.
Yeah.
Okay.
I went with number 5.
Okay. Number 3. Okay. And why is that? Why did you go for number 3?
Because also like despite the fact that like it's fun and colorful, like I feel like to the like whiskey drinker it might not be like as appealing. So it's just okay, like yeah, it's fun. You're trying something new, doing with a new thing.
What do you think Johnny Walker is trying to tell you here?
I think it's trying to tell us that whiskey can be fun and young and fresh and a celebration. Like it's very festive colors that they put on these bottles, which is different to what we are used to.
And also like art, because also in the bottles like you can see like there's some kind of art here. So this looks like very like propaganda-ish, like something you see like, and then this looks like some Spanish painting.
Some Spanish painting,
some
so
Picasso,
some Picasso kind of thing, kind of vibe going. Okay, all right.
Also, I would like if I didn't know that this was whiskey, I would think that it's something sweet inside. Yeah.
Okay. And the rest of you, what do you think? What did you think? What do you think with these designs? What do you think Johnny Walker is trying to tell us?
I just feel like I said, they just wanted to bring some sort of excitement and the thing of like your sophisticated, mature people can actually feel youth, and then get in touch with the colors and sort of change the scenery per se.
I mean, none of you is mentioning anything about the 200th, thing.
Yeah, no, I do feel that they are celebrating something, and possibly all these colors are appealing to some market out there that possibly it's not us right now here, but some will look at this and it would be exciting for them. Yeah, like these colors are probably.
Okay. What my interpretation is, right, when I looked at all of this, is that they're probably trying to enter a different market. They're trying to separate themselves from the old English gentlemen's in a bar with cigars and whatever. They're probably trying to introduce a new, more vibrant, more fun, more energetic type of whiskey, basically for them tapping into a new market. Maybe trying to rebrand whiskey within itself, that it's not just for old men that sit and talk politics. That there is a life to it, and with the showing the youthfulness, the energy, that's it is a celebration as well, and they've got that youthful side.
Happening. Yes, if it's.
You mentioned something about the 200th concept.
What do you think?
It's overcrowded. Like you lose it within these designs. You can't even spot it anymore because the colors are just too much in your face. It's easy to lose. Now that you've mentioned it, I'm only picking it up that actually most of them, all of them, they've indicated, but I can't even see it because of how busy it is.
So
the colors and everything else has just overwhelmed me for me to not even recognize what it actually is about.
And the one thing I'd say about the whiskey drinkers that I know, they take a lot of pride in the age of the whiskey. Is it a 12-year-old? Is it a 18 or 21-year-old, 15 or whatever? And that doesn't come through in the branding that's presented here. It's almost like the age really doesn't matter. It's breaking the mold, I understand, but that's just one thing that I find that is missing from this packaging at the moment.
But I mean, is this different or unique in any way?
But also, in terms of looking at it, if you look at it properly to a certain amount, so here you might think they're playing on sort of a Van Gogh kind of theme, with it. So to somebody who likes art, they might be like, oh yes, that's quite interesting, or maybe that's a reflection of the time periods of Johnny Walker. So maybe through maybe this is propaganda. So maybe through World War, through the Spanish Civil War, and all of that stuff.
Okay. So you're saying this could be representing the times through Johnny Walker and all of that. Okay.
Yeah, I'd also put here old packaging. I feel like with this, they'd be taking us back to where they started somehow. In some of this where they started 200 years ago, and now they are taking it back as a celebratory designs.
So you're seeing this just particularly as celebratory designs?
That's it. That's how I see it.
That's how you see
else,
it.
yeah.
And if that's the case, then what do you think?
Listen, I don't think this would be appealing to me or any other people that I would know. I don't think it would be appealing.
Okay. Now, what is the difference? I mean, if you look at between there's the black and the red, the gift packs. These are the gift packs. What do you think? What is the difference between the two gift packs?
The red and
the black.
Oh.
The red looks more like a cartoon, but the black looks a bit more sophisticated. There's a lot of African colors that have been incorporated there, which can be appealing in terms of the festive mood or the celebration that you're trying to bring across. Which I like the packaging on the black one.
Okay.
I feel sorry.
Yeah.
The red is distinctly comic strip. Marvel Comics, exactly that. I think that would definitely appeal to a younger crowd, of which I don't think it's the person that you need there. But this is a lot more sophisticated. This looks like art.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like Picasso of sorts or whatever. So maybe someone with a refined palate who still drinks Black Label or whatever can appreciate something like this, viewing it from an art perspective, provided that they know some art.
And looking at the bottles, what do you think of the bottles? If we had to compare the gift packs and the bottles there.
Do you mind if we turn it around?
Yeah, you can turn it. You can actually make it yes like that.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that way, yeah.
I actually like this one in particular, on the bottle itself.
You like the first bottle.
Yeah,
Mm.
I think
But-
it's, I don't know, it's different from the rest, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? There's a bit of a down tone. These tones here are just too bright. So I just feel like from all these here, if I were to pick one, I'd rather go for this, because these on the other hand,
So the first bottle for you is the one that more speaks to you. The other one are just
Yeah, I know.
way outrageous. And the rest of you, what do you think of those bottles? Looking at them, together.
I think they're growing on me. I like them. I like the bright colors. The purples, the blue, the green. Like on this one in particular. I mean, it's a celebratory mood. Like that's what it brings across. It's fun, no one wants to. I don't know if you wanna feel old. Maybe you'll say, okay, it's not very appealing, but to the young crowd, I think it is a very good bright colors.
And I feel like over here, it's just like more than just the drink, right? It's just like about like the whole culture. So like obviously like maybe to like somebody who likes like the more sophisticated bottles and all of that stuff, this won't appeal to him. But then obviously it's just more about like, okay, this whole celebratory thing, like also the reason behind it. So if you're really into like that the Johnny Walker culture, you'd understand why this is so.
Okay, so let's look at the whole range sort of together. Now looking at them.
You see, blue label shows timeless. I think that's very appealing to anybody. I think the others, the colors, man.
Do they look like they're part of a family though?
Which one?
No.
Oh, you
them
mean they
together,
look like they-
yes, they're part of, yeah.
No.
Actually,
yeah.
Black
just
and blue.
black and blue. Yeah.
Black and blue, I
Yeah.
mean, you understand it associates itself with the actual color of the bottles and whatever. Here, there's a lot of colors. I understand it's meant to be gold, and this is red, but this is just cartoon. This, I say,
That's
2 and 4 I can almost see that
Yeah.
they come from the same house.
Could
1 and 3.
What do you think as looking at them as part of a family? Like,
Honestly,
these would be gift boxes, part that comes as part of the range.
I won't lie. Every time I just see the first one, I'm thinking, what do you call it? Cereal. It looks like a cereal packaging. It does not belong here at all. It just does not belong. That concept is for something that has absolutely nothing to do with alcohol.
I would agree with you on this one. It's
Yeah,
a bit
even
too
the
loud.
sorry, even the
Like,
no.
Or even let's celebrate. But
Let's-
isn't it?
yeah.
But isn't it what you said? This is about celebration.
No, it's about celebration, but I'm just saying in terms of the packaging here, I'm just adding on what is saying that it's like cartoons. Then you say let's celebrate. It's more for, I would have said it's for kids. That's why you also put that let's celebrate. Whereas on the more sophisticated ones, there's nothing like that. You didn't need to put that let's celebrate. What is the bubble that you put it there?
Yeah, it looks like it's kind of blocking.
But also like with this, like in terms of it being a cartoon and everything, like it's because like if you look at like just like sorry to be like
No, it's fine.
It's
You
not
give your opinion.
like
Yeah.
in terms of like if you look at history in terms of like propaganda and everything and the way they target people, this was like basically what they used. Like okay, like I want you for the United States Army, and like it looked cartoonish. So I mean, in terms of I don't know, yeah, it looks really but like I said, like if you think back to like okay, like in terms of like the whole culture, like more than just the drink, then it might just be like okay, yeah, it's probably not.
But then I'm gonna ask you just one last time. Do you understand the idea behind this? What do you think is the idea behind this?
Celebrations are never colorful.
Celebrations are forever colorful. And what is Johnny Walker celebrating here?
The 20th year, as you said.
Okay, all right.
So we are very happy. We wanna come out.
Mm-hmm.
It's a
And
festive.
I think earlier on, Luvuyo spoke about vibrancy, you know, and also young, you know, youthful and all of that. Do we see that in that?
Some went a bit too far, but others are in context.
Mm-hmm.
The blue, black, I understand, and then I just think red. Yeah, they just went a bit too far.
Mhm.
But I understand where they're trying to go. It's just maybe
Mhm.
they stretched it a bit too far now.
I mean, do you are we seeing like modern in any way here, like modern and some vibrancy that you were talking about, you know, uniqueness, some sense of quality in this?
Yeah.
In that
I
sense, yeah.
I see quite a bit of like this is very modern.
The black.
Yeah, the
Mm.
black one. So if you look at the colors that have been coming out in terms of the contemporary designs that we have at the moment, if you're looking at Ugogo Mahlangu from Amandebele or Maxhosa, it sort of embraces those African colors and that's what it brings out. I mean, even like for instance the designs on cars at the moment, you know, there's a bit of color on those trims that they're putting in there, which adds a bit of life to it. You know, it's a nice celebration. I think it's a nice representation of African colors. Yeah, specifically for that one though, the black
Just
one.
only the black
I
one, is it-
I like the black one. Yeah.
Is there anything else that's communicating that to you besides the black?
It's kind of the bottom.
Guys? Any some sort of like uniqueness? Is it coming out better on other packs and than others?
Yeah, I'd say so.
On
As I
which
mentioned,
one? Yeah, for you.
but as I still stated, for me it's 2 and 4. 2 and 4, I can see what they're doing.
So the black and the blue.
Yeah, the black and the blue, correct.
Okay, so for you it's just the gold and the red that doesn't work.
That I cannot
Mhm.
comprehend.
Okay, all right, and the rest of you?
I think I share the same sentiment when
Mm.
it comes to these as well.
Okay, let's see. I've got an idea to read. I'm going to hand this to everyone, and then we're going to see what is the reason behind this. Okay. So it says, in 2020, we will be celebrating Johnny Walker's 200th birthday. We will be saluting a journey that's taken us from our four concerns of Scotland to the four corners of the world, that pushed the boundaries of whiskey making and saw the creation of famous imagery such as our slanted label and the iconic striding man. In our 200th year, we will be opening our first ever brand home in Edinburgh, inviting people to come and savor what makes Johnny Walker so special. We will be holding pop-up birthday parties around the globe, launching limited edition whiskies and gift packs, creating an exciting new advertising campaign and bringing together old friends and new to rise a toast to Johnny Walker and to the next 200 years. Keep walking. What do you think?
This is not a tequila. This is not a vodka. This would be appealing if it was one of those. If it was a tequila or a vodka, because you're talking about like a pop-up party. You know, if Ciro to bring in these packages, of which I think there's been similar concepts that they would have done, it kind of makes sense. This is a gentleman's drink. When I think whiskey, to be honest, I'm thinking of a nice brown couch with a fireplace, with a library behind you of some sort. Hence, when you look at the tones, you know, like what you were saying, Ukwezi, about these at the African tones, they just take me back there. So this can actually fit in a library or in a home office, or I just feel like those tones tend to make sense. The blue, obviously, it's exceptionally nice. I won't lie. That one, I feel like we all don't really want to dwell on it because it's exceptionally nice. It's just those two, but this concept as well that you're talking about, these pop-up parties. It sounds a bit, I don't know, the crowd. I think we're looking at the concept of the crowd.
Okay.
If they want to attract a younger crowd, I don't know how, but
Yeah, I've seen recently that they are trying to reinvent themselves, especially with the black, with the red, in terms of saying you can actually do a cocktail with it, and they've been pushing the red market of saying put it into cocktails to attract women, I'm guessing, and a more younger crowd. So I'm guessing if that's the direction that they want to go with the red label, and doing pop-up this pop-up birthday parties, then in that way it'll work. I would contradict what he says and say with what I've seen that they've started doing with the cocktail parties, and then maybe it would work, the red label. Yeah.
So as you were reading through this, right, I went back some 20 years ago when I started actually drinking whiskey, and I remember I used to like Jack Daniels a lot, right? And it wasn't really about the packaging of the bottle, the black and white. It was also about, you know, that lifestyle, you know, Zippo lighters, Harley Davidson, American branding, and all of that, which you identify with. To me, this is something very similar, in the sense that this can be that branding that breaks you into that young crowd, you know, the 18-year-olds that are starting to drink whiskey for the first time. I think this would appeal more in that sense. Although I feel like there's still no identification of what kind of culture you are subscribing to when you're looking at all four of these bottles, if that makes sense.
What about the rest of when I read this? What was going through your head? What came
Can
to
I
mind?
just, yeah,
Yeah.
this is how I see it. If you give me this statement here and this, they're perfectly aligned.
Yes, it is.
But there's gonna be an opportunity cost when it comes to this, because now it seems with pop-up parties and all this young, more vibrant trying to step into that market, is actually gonna lose the older guys. Because I know if I were to say I'm drinking a Johnny Black or one of these, and I'm walking in the house with one of these bottles, and my dad is sitting in the lounge or whatever drinking another one, that's where he's gonna stop. Because now we've merged the lines of our worlds, where we actually were divided, where there was exclusivity and a sort of older, more mature thing, whereas me and my friends, we're not thinking of savoring and drinking this thing slow. If you tell me about pop-up parties and music pumping, it's more pouring cocktails, running them in, drinking them strong, finishing the bottle in the night, throwing the bottle away when you're done. Whereas for them, it's sentimentality. They keep it in a chest, in a cabinet, come home after work, have the doubles. So if they want to go this way, it's very aligned to what they're saying here. But definitely they won't lose them. They're more traditional crowd.
Well, but for you, what does it say?
It's youthful. It's youthful. It's just, it's very different for Black Label, how you grew up knowing it. Maybe there's that stigma attached to it for us as young black guys, because, you know, when our uncles said they buy black, you knew they're sitting and talking politics, and it wasn't this. So yeah, for me, yeah.
Okay. Now, what about the rest of you? I mean, thinking about, you know, the Johnny Walker 200th anniversary overall, what does this mean for Johnny Walker? And is this, you know, because this is the idea, this like you, Luvuyo, said, it's aligned, you know, the statement with what you're seeing here. And for the rest of you, do you see the statement being aligned with what you saw here? And what does it say for Johnny Walker?
I think just the key words where it says bringing together old and new. It definitely, as he says, that's bringing two words together, so the youthful and the old together. But at the same time, that could be a very negative, have a negative impact in the traditional whiskey drinker. You know, I did say I'm I don't know, kid, right? He will literally look at this pack and say, yes, I want to drink this red label. I remember my dad drinking it. And what caught his eye was the colors. And then the father won't, I don't think he wants to drink the same whiskey as his son. So it sort of bashes both of us together, which don't click at all.
But what does it say for you personally?
I don't want to be biased, but I'm very for the colors.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I want your opinion, yeah.
I'm definitely for the colors. I feel like they're trying something new, they're very bold, confident to do it. And it could work to a certain extent. So.
And how do you see it working for some? Because you also, Kwesi, you just also like shaking your head there, agreeing. How do you see it working for you?
Yeah, it takes you back to that youthful experience, you know. Like I say, I mean, it looks like there's something sweet inside. It doesn't look like there's a whiskey inside, but knowing that this is the message that is being sent with this branding, it does make you want to have the collection in your cupboard. It's nice and bright, and it's something different. Yeah.
And I mean, just that those are all black Johnny Walker Black bottles. So it's not, the different. So it'll just be, the different ones that you will, like you're saying, you're talking about collecting. So they're all black. It's
Okay, I lost you there.
They Johnny Walker, all of those bottles.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's not that that's silver.
No.
That's what
No, what I'm saying is in
I got
those,
you.
yes,
context.
yes, in that context, yeah.
Okay.
So these are gift bags, the gift packs. But if you're getting a bottle, you could get either or
I
those
see.
of black,
Okay.
Johnny Walker Black.
Okay.
Yo, this one is all over black.
What, the blue one?
That looks like a pina colada, like I'm in Hawaii.
That's true. That's true.
But now that we've read and the message, we understand the packs that we've been looking at and the celebration behind it.
I just don't think your everyday consumer will know this.
Okay.
So it's different for us in the room now to finally understand why they did that. But if I'm just a 50-year-old walking to the store, I won't think of a celebration. I think they're just losing the plot.
Yeah, but maybe they might find a way to communicate that to the people.
But I think another thing that they want to enforce before they actually just bowl over the consumers, your regular consumers, is that most of us understand these colors, but someone did raise that point. If this is such a big celebration, where are the 200s and all of this? It's only on the caps. So I think if they could focus more also on putting maybe on a more refined bottle, putting a gold 200 in the middle, or something that actually symbolizes that this is the 200th year. Because now we're just seeing the fireworks and the noise, but not really that much emphasis on what is the event about. We know that there's an event, but
I also tend to buy based on packaging. I won't lie. If you look at the double black, the way it's branded, I mean, it's like a black bottle with just a hint of gold, and that's it. For me, that just also made it very interesting. Maybe it's because I like monotones as well. I remember when there was this J&B Jet, the black bottle. I think I bought it also just because of the color. It was very exclusive. It just was simple.
It's subtle.
Yeah, it's subtle. It gives it a sense of class.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like.
But are these fitting for that type of birthday? I mean.
Yeah. So for me, right, whenever I go home, especially in December holidays, I've got this cousin who will call me over and he'll bring me a bottle of Johnny Walker Black with 2 glasses, that kind of packaging, and we really enjoy it. This is also very appealing to me. If he was to come with this type of branding one time and say, okay, hey, here's the new Johnny Walker, you want to try it out? It's the same taste at the end of the day, but it's more to say the statement does come across that yes, it's a celebration. I think. Does it really take away from the actual taste of the drink? Because it's only a celebration for that specific year, I guess. So. I still think I would enjoy it. Just to see something different. Hey, what's that? And no, this is the new Johnny Walker branding. I'm just thinking of it in realistic terms. When I go and I visit my cousin and so on.
No, to be honest, I don't think I would buy it. It's
Why
like
not?
you're buying this liquors, this 78 rand
Yeah.
So you wouldn't buy this because it's looking
It looks cheap.
Mm.
It does. It does. I think if they went
Would you buy it
bold,
as a gift?
no, I would not buy it as a gift as
Mhm.
well because it looks very cheap if you give it to
Mhm.
someone. If they had on blue and black, they had went bold to some bold colors, expensive colors. But to be honest, this, no.
But do we get that this
Even
is a
if you-
limited
I understand that.
edition? Yes,
But
I
even
just
if
want
you
to-
give it to somebody as a gift, do you now have to explain to them that this is a limited edition? That's my question because we tend to judge on what we see, and we tend to post on social media on.
Would you
on
post
what
this
you
on
say.
social media?
If I had been given this bottle, for example, as a gift, no.
What about you? Yeah, what about you guys? Is it clear that this is just a limited edition celebrating the 200, anniversary
Can I say something, right?
birthday?
Let's say if we were to compare this to like cards, if you're collecting cards, right? When you get the 10th pack or the 11th, whatever that thing is, where you get in those Marvel cards, whatever, those are usually gold or then, but they got that look of exclusivity and they look like they're worth more than your average. What I think has happened here is that these look degraded to your average.
Okay.
You understand? So though they're trying to show tardiness, but these do look cheap. They do
Okay.
look cheap.
Okay, all right. But would you talk about these to anyone? I mean, is this something that you would talk about to anybody?
Is a table for for discussion or on what
Yeah, is
basis?
it something that you would chat about? You would mention social media. I mean, that you would talk about on social media, post or Instagram
saying-
or whatever.
Are you saying,
Is
for
this
example,
something
if we hear that, or you're saying,
yes, if you see it, or if you or is it something that would create conversation? Is
Just
it something that you
talk.
would post? I don't know.
no,
Just
not on my
No,
side.
as in-
no.
I think for talk, in shock value, correct. It will come up.
Okay,
But whether it's for the right reasons, most of the time, I doubt.
you doubt it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think if I'm thinking of this, if I'm driving with someone in the car and there's a billboard that has these splash there, I think the conversation would go south from my side. It might actually affect the person next to me because they might like it, but once I say something negative about it, they might actually not go ahead with it just because of my opinion on it. That's what I'm saying. If I see it and I pass a comment, I might be influencing or affecting the next person negatively based on this, And I wouldn't, from a business perspective, I would rather not have people say anything bad about it.
I mean, also like they're pushing the boundaries, like they said about the whiskey also. So it's about like also like the market. So like it's unusual for like the whiskey to be like that. So like it's like something new. For some people it might be something new and something exciting for them. Be like, oh, you know what? Yeah, let me try this out. So then somebody seen it might feel like, okay, like it might even have like a different taste, like your usual Johnny Walker stuff. So maybe let me try it and see what's up. So it's like it's kind of exciting for some people, or for some people might just be like, you know what, this is just too colorful and puts me off.
No, I do feel like they are maybe in a way changing their target market because they went big on I don't know if you saw the Game of Thrones bottle.
Yeah.
They went huge on that, and I looked at it and was saying, I could never buy this, but I guess there's people that actually bought it. That's why they went that big on marketing. So I feel in a way they are redirecting they're going for a new target market.
So what would you expect if you saw bottles like that? What would you expect to come inside it? Would you if
I would expect something sweet.
Margaritas,
is it?
pina coladas.
So you wouldn't expect the like the same Johnny Walker that you used to.
Yeah,
No.
No, I
Brown
would, yeah.
coming out of that
Mm.
bottle.
Yeah.
You don't see brown coming out of the
I
bottle.
don't see my dad holding that. I would take him
So
serious.
you see, like I see like a flavored liqueur, maybe it's I don't know, with hazelnut flavors or I don't know, things like that.
The reality is imagine a bunch of old men or seasoned men having this on that table. Like guys, come on.
Is there a way
in
that
suits,
Mm.
in suits. We're wearing grey suits, navy suits here.
Or at a club.
Or even in a club, on a VIP table.
Yeah, no.
This color. Guys.
So you would be expecting something different, something.
I think maybe if you're not going to consume it for people to see, and it's more a
A
cabinet
collection,
piece.
yeah.
If it's a cabinet piece, it will be a talking point for sure. But to go say I'm buying this to smack it in a club or at a bride or whatever, I don't see grown men older than that.
But where do you feel this takes the brand? Where do you feel it takes the Johnny Walker brand?
I think it puts them in a market of cheaper whiskeys and cheaper drinks.
Okay.
No, no, so I think that they want to go for the younger, more vibrant market. Like I said, the cocktails you can actually put in a cocktail. So I think that's the direction that they're going. Ladies can have it as well. Yeah, I feel that they want to now leave the old man. I'm guessing.
Can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
Are we saying that the traditional whiskey drinker is old and boring?
No,
What are you saying?
So my question is right. It seems that you're saying that the drink isn't appealing to the traditional drinker, right, of whiskey, and I was also of that opinion when I first saw the bottles, but they are growing on me. But now I'm asking if we are saying that the traditional whiskey drinker is someone who's boring and narrow-minded.
And okay, that's another but where do you think this is taking the brand, Johnny Walker?
Opening them to a new demographic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of people, so who are open, who probably saw, like you said, people who drink whiskey as old and boring, as to like saying, okay, you know what, I too, you know, I can drink whiskey too. Like it's more appealing to them and all of that stuff. When I'm using a marketing strategy, saying, okay, you know what, I wanna go in, get a new crowd of people and all of that stuff. But in terms of like the legacy in being like the kind of bottles that they make for like then that's questionable. But from like a marketing strategy point of view, like it makes sense then wanting like a new demographic of people. But
yeah, I also feel that they're going for a new target market, but I also feel that it's wrong because the people that they are targeting are those people that want the bold, simple things. So I still feel also.
I've got a cards right here in front of me. There's a bunch of them. I want you to choose one in particular, one card that reflects how you feel about this overall style, this overall pack design. So choose one card out of this that represents how you feel. One for yourself.
That resembles the presentation.
Yes, how you feel about this whole new idea of pack design. Okay, everybody's got a card?
Yeah.
Okay. There's a lot. I'm trying to just. So what card do you have? And tell me what feeling does that card resemble?
I have a smartwatch here.
You got number 20, it's 28.
Or 28.
Okay. Smartwatch.
It tells me that Johnny Walker is moving with the times and they're getting away from the old whiskey drinkers and they want to reach the new market, the new age kids, and to also appear cool and be relevant in the new age of technology.
How do you feel about the whole idea? Let's what do you have?
it's like fireworks.
34.
34. Yeah,
Mhm.
fireworks, like more like a celebratory kind of packaging and all of that stuff. Because obviously that's the whole point of the the packaging to celebrate the 200 years. So you can see like there's a reflection of that. You can see like the celebratory.
So how do you feel about it personally? How would you say?
How do I say?
How do you feel about this?
Yeah.
So because the cards is supposed to represent your feeling about this.
Oh yeah, I feel like it's exciting.
Exciting.
Powerful.
Okay. Alright.
Yeah, I've got 20, which is more of a what is this? Color run type
Mhm.
of concept. It's look, the concept is brilliant. I won't lie. It's not aligning it to the brand itself. I honestly say this is how it made me feel.
Mm.
Yeah, apart from the concept is just says party starter, color run. Let's go out, have a joy.
And how do you feel about it?
Look, it's amazing.
Mm.
I won't lie, it's an amazing concept.
Mhm.
It's just like I'm saying, when you want to now align it to the actual brand, you know,
Mhm.
it's a little uncomfortable.
Mhm.
Yeah, because this is something that one does when we had Freshers Ball or whatever.
Mm.
You know, this is like varsity vibes, you know.
Mm.
So that's why I'm saying, okay. But when we look at the concept of how we drink your whiskey and taking into consideration the pricing of whiskey,
Mm.
you know, I cannot buy 900 rand bottle of Gold Reserve and just want to like 10 up in ginger, because in the club it's way more.
Mm.
This is just like for home drinking.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay. You've got?
Number 89. It's this colorful sneaker, and I just feel like it's straight to the youth. Okay.
Mm. Okay. Alright.
Yeah. Well, basically, I got the same thing. I chose 91.
Mm-hmm.
It's young, it's vibrant, it appeals to a new nation. Don't be serious. Kick on your sneaks. Let's party
Mm-hmm.
till the night is done. Let's get drunk.
Okay.
That's how I say it.
Mm-hmm. Crazy?
So I've got 68 and 61. 68 is very artistic and colorful. I find that it's very bright, and 61 it's a party starter. I mean, if you look at this bottle, it's no longer just a traditional male or that's enjoying it. It's also, you know, for the females as well. Everyone can drink it. It's appealing more to the youthful, fun party type of thing.
So, what could be celebrated? Which sort of occasions do you see fit with this whole idea? 25th birthday? Mm-hmm.
Jumping castles. I'm kidding. No, this is gonna be a more, you're turning up carnivals like Brazil in February when they're doing real carnivals. It's vibrant, it's young, it's hip, it's happening.
And for
Yeah.
us here in South Africa?
Whatever.
But in South Africa.
Ask your question again, sorry.
We're just talking occasions,
Ah,
sort of,
okay.
yeah. Where
Okay.
do we see this? You know, is it a seasonal, you know, and which season or which, like you're saying, carnivals or whatever, like a 25th birthday party maybe, anywhere else?
Like I said, color run for me, it's one of those. Like it's just like, hey,
Mm-hmm.
you know, we just living, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Pop bottles.
Pop bottles, kind of,
Yeah.
could this work for festive season?
Yeah.
Summer
Festive.
beach parties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spring.
Whatever's colorful.
Spring.
Spring,
yeah.
celebrating spring,
Yeah, all
December,
of those
Uh-huh.
things.
those kind of seasons.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Why do you say that?
Just the colors.
The colors would
Colours,
work, the
yeah.
colors work with that.
Mhm.
Okay, alright. And yeah.
No, I like the route that this is going now, because I'm just thinking, with all these events that one attends, you know, these are eventful. You know, it could be cool maybe at a themed party to say this is something that you guys want. You know what I mean? Because most of the time now, whenever we have to have a party, there's like a theme. You know, you go to somebody's baby showers as well, they have themes, you know, and they're not limited anymore. So you've got a yellow and black theme. If that's the concept, why not get this? It's still the same, but then you
Okay.
can impose it based on the theme itself.
Okay. And looking at, I mean, you've been talking about, you know, your Jamesons, you talked about Jack Daniels and all that. How does it compare, you know, looking at this? Is it, how are they different or the same? How's Johnny Walker different or the same to Boma, Jack Daniels, Boma Jameson here?
Are you asking compare this to this?
Yes.
No, I'd say those ones they hit the target market in the sense that they offering a bulk bottle, for example, at Glenlivet, simple bulk bottle. which is what the target market is looking for.
Mm-hmm.
I am entirely not convinced by
Yeah, I'd
this.
say, look, as far as being revolutionary and breaking the mold, that they did. Whether it's in the right direction, that's questionable. But definitely they've left them like dinosaurs. Now they look like dinosaurs if Johnny Black's gonna move in this direction. But whether Johnny Black is gonna keep his traditional crowd is where the question arises now.
But would you buy this based on this? Would you buy it now for yourself or as a gift?
No, I wouldn't buy it.
No.
No?
I would.
For?
Buy it for my friends' birthdays. I mean, it's still the same Johnny Walker taste, and I think that's the thing, right? And it's, I mean, when you're looking at the packaging, you're expecting something different, something sweet, and all of that. But when you pop it, it's the same nice Johnny Walker taste that you used to, that you enjoy. Yeah.
I'd buy it like as a gift and also just like keep it and just be like, you know what, I have like this from like the 200-year celebration.
Celebration. And what?
Yeah.
So, and who would you buy it for if you bought it as a gift?
I'd buy it for like, let's say, friends
For friends?
or like family, but like a more
Younger. Okay. Alright. Alright. And for those of you that said no, why not?
I wouldn't know who to give this to.
You wouldn't know who to give this to.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
I just wouldn't.
And if you were giving it to your friend, like you said, Kwezi, to your friend Bash, who, like for what occasion would it be?
let's say maybe like you're having like a beach party or something like that, or like we're just going we're on holiday, maybe like somewhere tropical and like we're just chilling on the boat, just drinking.
What do you think your friend, the one that you have in mind, would say about this?
He'd be like, I mean, as long as they'd find it more interesting because that person might probably think, you know, this kid is like, you know, boring.
Okay. So it's not the friend that normally drinks whiskey.
Yeah. So it's that person who doesn't usually drink whiskey but sees this new packaging and okay, for some reason in their mind they're thinking, oh, this is different. Let me see, because obviously like now they see your usual whiskey bottle and they're just like, it's just.
Which friend for you? And for what occasion? Like, is it the same Christmas, like you say, when you're going home in December, or do you see it as?
I think for a housewarming, Christmas party, like my friends like to, like, you know, like they like to keep their bottles in the cabinet, you know, and this is one of those limited edition collections that you can keep, and I think it just adds a bit of nice color to that cabinet because it'll all just be those brown bottles that are in that cabinet, but then this one will just add a bit of color, and I think it's, yeah, I'll give it to any of my friends really, to be honest.
Okay, all right. Let me for you, and what about you?
I wouldn't buy it as a gift, no. But I'd definitely buy it as a collector's item.
As a for yourself.
So it's like that one person who buys a Ferrari of 1934 or whatever, and I just keep it there in 50 years' time. I'm able to bring it out and say, look, I once upon a time had this bottle.
Okay. All right, guys. Now I will quickly just read an explanation of what this design is trying to convey. So this is what the brief was. Okay, so it says, to mark our 200th birthday, created a collectible series of limited edition designs celebrating the iconic striding man, reinterpreted in the style of globally famous artistic movements from the past 2 centuries.
Please, I don't see that.
To mark our 200th birthday, created a collectible series of limited edition designs celebrating the iconic striding man. reinterpret the style of globally famous artistic movements from the past 2 centuries. So this is, yeah,
So that's your Marvel. You
yes,
said your Picasso.
Picasso, uh-huh,
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
yes, does it make sense?
Yeah, I said, yeah, that theme we picked up. Yeah, it does. It makes sense, but you have to know. Most people would just assume it's just colors. But yeah, I
Okay.
guess.
All right. So just briefly summing up this, right? What would we say? You know, looking at this all together, summing up this, the strength and the weaknesses of this design. So what would we say are the strengths quickly? So this is design T,
Eye catching, yeah.
right? The strength is eye catching.
Fun.
It's fun.
It's vibrant.
Mhm.
Yes, almost the same.
It's youthful.
It's
Youthful.
youthful.
Innovative.
Artistic.
Artistic. The
What about
weaknesses?
it?
It's shocking.
It's shocking,
It's contradictory.
contradictory, in what sense?
In the sense of what you expect on the contents to what the actual outside is, it's just two different people, two
Mhm.
completely different people.
Okay. What else?
Looks cheap as.
Yeah.
Is it?
Looks cheap.
Just takes away the concept of what whiskey is known to be.
Anything else? That's about it. Okay, let's move along. Okay, now, moving on to the next idea. Can I have those? So we've got this now. We see how we
Yeah.
make this. Okay. The next one, so everything out of the table. The next one that I'm going to be showing you is idea P. Okay. So same way, you come through and then you just go to the next page now on your self-completions. So this is idea number 2. And then you'll just write, you know, the first 3 words that come to mind when looking at idea 2. Okay? Please stand up and just come through quickly.
Say it again. 3 words when you're looking at the whole picture.
Yes, this is idea 2. This is an idea of a shop shelf. So
Okay.
that's how it would look like. So
Okay.
now we are going to be filling in the 3 words, and
Okay.
we'll be looking at again. Let me show. Let me just show. So this one and that one.
Okay.
Okay. And first 3 words. So I'm showing you everything because this would be an idea of a shop shelf, how it would appear amongst
Yeah.
others as well.
Okay.
So just those 3 words or phrases quickly.
So you're saying we're looking at These two specifically.
Yes. Are we done?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's just put up the same way we did. Ready? Okay. Tell me quickly. What did you write?
I wrote bold, global, and lavish.
Okay.
Iconic, artistic, and festival.
I put like storytelling, intriguing, colorful.
Sorry. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. What else?
Road
Sorry,
traditional.
guys. More traditional? Sorry guys, can I have that? Yeah? So we're basing it on what you wrote there, yeah? Yes, please. Thank you. I'll just show you the wrong one. There. That's yeah, that's right. Kids. Yeah, what else? What did you write?
I wrote wrong shelf.
Wrong shelf? Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, this like it doesn't look like it belongs in a whiskey shelf.
Colorful, mature, and eye-catching at the same time.
Iconic, artistic, and festival.
What did you say?
Oh, I said traditional looks striking, and the red specifically looks more glamorous.
Okay.
Looks more out of its price than it actually is. If that makes any sense.
Okay. All right. So tell me quickly, what did you think? Like, I mean, this after you wrote this, what came to your mind? What do you think? Looking at these, what is it that Johnny Walker is trying to tell you? We can take these a bit down for everyone to see, and then closer as well.
My one, like I said, the global, this I feel like is incorporated a lot of places, especially with the buildings and the location. You can tell you have like your world type of map here. So that's what brought into the whole global concept, because it feels like it unifies the entire world.
Okay.
So going back to what you had mentioned on the celebration of the pop-up parties throughout the world, I can resonate with, it resonates with this that I'm seeing here.
Okay.
I also see a lot of carnival mood. So they want to create that carnival in every design. So that's the one thing that stood out for me.
I feel like it's telling a story, because if you see like how it goes from like the black and white and everything, and if you look at this whole picture and you look at the whole bottles, so like having like the whole collection enables you to tell like the whole story of like what is exactly going on there, even though I don't know exactly what the story is.
What the story is, okay. But you feel like they're telling a story,
Yeah.
all of them together will be
Yeah.
telling you what the story is, okay? All right, Taylor?
Definitely the Red Label packaging was very mature because they kept it the way Red Label should be. At the same time, the whole artistic vibe going out the back represents, I guess, the celebration. Yeah, definitely. So as compared to the Marvel thing that they had before, that was not really
Okay.
risky.
So yeah, I also feel like this packaging is a very nice
You're talking about
throwback.
the P5,
The P5, yeah.
The red P.
I feel like it's a nice throwback of the striding man.
Mhm.
I'm assuming that's how we used to look like 200 years ago.
So it's a nice throwback there. Anything else?
On the P5, like I said, that's the one that actually made me to even say lavish, because it just made the red label more appealing. Like I wouldn't personally want to drink a red label because of how the stigma of it is in society. But when you look at that, it actually just looks quite interesting now.
And what is the mood? What is the mood there? You know.
International. Like I'm just
International.
thinking of the whole
So-
world almost at a go.
International.
How I feel, it's more classic to what it would be, because you know the guy himself, you can tell is a guy from back in them days. Whereas the other stuff was more modern-y, artsy craftsy, where you weren't even sure. So for me, this shows you, just by looking at the bottle, that it is something that's an archive or historical or something. There's some culture, some tradition behind why he looks so different here in a older, more mature fashion, and he's more bold in color. And he's out there, so.
Definitely relates to what you were saying, because the whole black and white, as Bash said, and then the art changes and the way they draw him, and then gives detail to detail all the way to this guy, who looks very modern, very detailed, but it's still Johnny Walker.
But it's still Johnny Walker.
And because if you want to analyze them, just from like, it says from born 1820 and still going strong, brings that sort of change, modernization.
So there's the change, modernization, but you see
You
from
still see
black and white to
black and
old
white.
to now to this now Johnny Walker, who's just very modern.
An evolution.
It's an evolution more than anything. And do we see now like the 200th anniversary or birthday that I mean he's mentioning here, it says born 1820 and still going strong.
There you literally see the change.
You see the change.
And you also see why it's like, because as opposed to those other ones, like you could just buy one and just be like, okay, let me see. Okay, but here, like you'd actually want to buy all four of the collection and be like, yeah, let me keep it because it's interesting and because of like the whole. Cause so even it's the middle one, MP3 is the middle one that has like the whole Johnny Walker thing with the Still Going Strong, but like with the when you bring it together with all the four bottles, like everything just makes sense.
What if I said that's actually just one bottle? That's the one.
Yes,
that's each end of just.
Oh, it goes on. Still the same thing.
So it's the.
It's a very nice collage.
Okay, from a marketing perspective, yeah, the bottle would look nice if it's on each side. If you wanted them to buy more though, I would keep it a continuum as a collection piece on each bottle. Then you'll buy four,
Okay.
as opposed to just buying one, which tells the whole story.
I concur to what you're saying. I wanted to say, even if it goes all the way around, I still would feel like for
You would
display
want to buy
purposes,
for display purposes. You would buy
I would want to
four.
buy
I think it's
Yes.
mainly for
To actually get the
To
story
show the
going.
full
the
evolution of-
evolution.
yeah.
Okay.
That's
So-
very good for the collector's item.
Would this work as a collector's item?
Yeah, definitely. But personally, to be excited, get in there to drink, let's go drink, sit at home, relax. I don't think this would work, but as a collector's item, if you are a follower of the Johnny Walker, definitely people will be lining up to.
And looking at the gift packs, what do you think of the gift packs?
They
The
appeal
red
to-
one.
yeah,
They are appealing
to the traditional
to
market.
the
and
traditional market as well.
looks upper class, looks proper, looks like what it should be.
I think on this one we don't share quite a lot of different opinions on it. It really just came out in quite an intriguing manner.
So, like, what is the difference now? Looking at the black label, versus what the black label is saying versus the red label on the packs.
And I think the red label is more eye-catching for me right now more than the black.
And what makes you say that?
I just find it more bold, This looks a bit too gold now, too yellowish, but the tone is more subtle. It's like a maroon type of. It's got a rich texture to it, This, on the other hand, is just a bit too bright. But now, when you look at these two, If you don't know the pricing, I would like to assume that this comes across as more expensive.
So the red label comes across as more expensive in
Yeah.
terms of the design
Yeah,
of the
from-
gift pack.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, for the time that this has been here, actually, I didn't see the black label. So I've been assuming it's a gold. Because I didn't look at the wording there.
Let's see. So this is now the range.
Why do they do this to the gold?
Yeah, they don't do it justice. Because the blue they keep standard nice.
Yeah.
Hey, the gold this time lost, eh? Gold and black, I see lost.
No, the red label, it's iconic. It stands out.
Mm-hmm.
Blue is always clean.
But do they look like is they sitting there, you know, part of a family?
Yeah, they didn't look like a family.
Yeah, the gold is lost.
I would have preferred black replacing the pink, and then that side would be like an all black box with like the detail would have like a white strip. That would have made more sense. Because I feel like that pink is.
So
It's
you
like
wouldn't have the
strawberry
pink
lips.
on the gold pack there.
It reminds me of a box of wine called Carnival.
Mm.
There's a box that looks exactly like this.
And I mean, looking at this, I mean, if you're looking at, you know, the gold and the blue together, are they? Do you see? I mean, what you were saying earlier on, you're talking about the modernity still, you know, and do you see that the modernity, the quality in it when we're looking at both the gold and
It's a
the
modern,
blue?
modern in the sense that now
Mm.
it appeals to a female crowd now.
Okay.
Just because of the pink.
Because of the pink.
Yeah.
So it's modern in that sense. Okay. Would you still use the same words like the vibrant, modern on this one, but still evolution?
Which one are we talking about?
On
in the sense
looking
of
at the range.
The range.
Mm.
Yes. Yeah, I see the evolution, and it is vibrant, still nice. This looks wow. That's a timepiece. That's a prop.
The blue box.
Yeah, I just think what gets lost is possibly what throws me off is just to see the whole sequence with the gold. Sorry.
So the gold box is throwing you
Yeah,
off a bit.
just,
Okay.
But the others.
Crazy, what do you think?
But they do look like one family. The red and the blue are very they got very nice striking artwork.
Mm-hmm.
The black and the gold, I think, yeah, they lose me there a bit. But I feel like they do tell a story of the 200 years.
Mm.
Yeah.
Do they tell? I mean, for the rest of you, do they tell that story of the 200 years?
They do. I'd like to actually find out more. Eventually, what is the story? Because in everything that you see, there's different pictures that obviously tell different stories. There's buildings in some of them where you see it's modern buildings. There's some people that looks like slavers. Anyway, but yeah, there are stories in each. There's carnival. There's in each of this, and it's very interesting, and it would be great to find out what is the actual story.
And looking at this idea P, does it fit with our idea that we read earlier? I mean, we can look at it again, and you know,
As in with pop-up parties.
if you're looking at this, does it work with, you know, in 2020 we'll be celebrating Johnny Walker's 200th birthday, and we'll be saluting a journey that's been taking us from the four corners of Scotland to the four corners of the world that pushed the boundaries of whiskey making and saw the creation of the famous images such as our slanted label and our iconic striding man. And in our 200th year, we'll be opening our first ever brand home in Edinburgh, inviting people to come and savor what makes Johnny Walker so special. We'll be holding up pop-up birthday parties around the globe, launching limited edition whiskies and gift packs, creating an exciting and new advertising campaign, and bringing together old and new to rise toast to Johnny Walker to the next 200 years.
It just looks like changing packaging.
Yeah, it doesn't look like a celebration.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there's fireworks and pop-up parties here.
Okay.
This just looks like an antique piece you put in your cupboard with the other ones
Mhm.
for the connoisseurs. Just says it's 200 years, and I don't see that same guy going to parties.
Okay.
So I think, with relating it to the party thing loses it.
Okay, so it's losing the party thing. Is it on the gift packs, or is it when we're looking at the
No,
whole
I'm just
gift?
talking this one here.
So let's look at everything.
There, it's still more vibrant
Yes.
and all those
Let's
colors.
look at everything, because you would get the bottles on their own, you would get gift packs there, and and if we look at the mood, board as well, is it still communicating that?
Yeah, the bottles themselves, correct. I still think they're vibrant. They got those colors which they never had prior. I mean, it's a whole range of the rainbow. But yeah, from the outside, it's still the more traditional, but more classy, elegant type. So yeah, they're more contrasting actually. Do you think that's yeah, it's contrasting.
That's inside of that.
Yeah, it's a bit that is correct, right? This is gonna
But
be
it will be,
something-
but remember, I said
That's just
the
a
bottle,
black
that's
only.
just a black only.
That's just the black
Yeah.
only. Yeah, but that's okay.
No, there is a contrast, definitely.
Yeah, if that's the black going inside that.
In what sense?
This is elegant.
This and having this as a packaging. I mean, I
But
would
do
have
they
rather.
fit with, if you're looking at everything together, not just individually? Because you will get the gift pack, you'll get the bottles individually, and this is the whole, I don't put.
But when you walk into the stores, the bottle won't be sitting outside, let's say. You're
But
gonna
the
see
gift
this.
packs, but remember, you get gift packs that are sitting as gift packs, and you get bottles that are not necessarily gift
Okay,
packs.
if I'm looking at this, yes, look at that, no.
Okay, so the bottle on its
Speaks
own
to the pop,
speaks to the
fest-
idea,
to the festivities, to the Mardi Gras, yeah.
Okay. But not the gift packs.
Not the gift pack.
And the-
This one still gives me the sense of the same Johnny Walker taste,
Mhm.
whereas this one is still very, looks very sweet, like a sweet drink inside.
So the gift packs still say it's the same Johnny Walker, and then where the bottle says it might be something different.
I just like that the bottle looks quite lavish.
But you like that.
I just like that. The colors right now, yeah, I see, but I think the whole story for the bottle for me.
But
Yeah.
would you talk about these designs though? I mean, now as they are, of the gift packs individually and of the bottle. Like, is it something that now would create you, talking about it and not going south, maybe like you said with the previous one?
Look, the different buildings in the different cities make me want to talk about where I've been and
Mm.
whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Mm.
It's one of those that you checking out the Petronas Towers, you're like, okay, that looks cool.
Mhm.
And then you're looking at this building here, I think there's the one in Singapore. And I also just love buildings as well.
Mm.
So it's just one of those things that I feel like it would create some form of communication, even if it's on the table. And then, it can spark a conversation somehow, which is quite good and interesting,
Mm.
which has a history to it all. We
Mhm.
can talk about, okay, when's the next carnival type of thing. I feel like just the story on the one bottle itself can give you quite fast ideas.
Mhm. And then you're also saying the gift packs are more antique cabinet kind of thing,
Yeah.
and then the bottle is saying party kind of
Correct.
feel to you
And
as
what
well.
I feel-
Both of you, yeah.
And what I feel about P3 as well. When you're sitting with a group of people and you want to act like you know general knowledge and everything, and you can tell them about the evolution of Johnny Walker as
Yeah.
if you know him. As in, this is what he used to look like, and then he went to there.
Mm.
So the bottles themselves do tell a story that you can't tell.
Mm.
Whereas, not just with its party and
Mm.
colors, but
Okay.
they speak.
There's story there.
There's a
as
story,
well.
yeah, there's
And
lineage.
is this design, is it clearly Johnny Walker?
Yeah, this is the guy.
We're talking. I mean, remember
okay.
everything.
Yeah.
Is it?
Is a John Walker.
I think from a body perspective, this would still resemble it in terms of the shape.
Mhm.
So just the fact that the shape is still the same, John Walker, that's what would keep this as a John Walker.
Mhm.
That's just for me the shape of the bottle.
Mhm. And it's the shape of the one. Is there anything else on that bottle that would tell you that this is how I know this is Johnny Walker?
The Striding Man.
The Striding Man.
Yeah.
So that says Johnny Walker. And then on the gift boxes,
Distinct.
it's
That's it.
distinct
Yeah, no,
Johnny
that-
Walker. What
yeah.
says that?
I think as well the font
Mm.
of the name.
The font,
Stay the same.
The label.
the label as well. Mm-hmm.
The Striding Man.
Mm.
You can sense the elegance, the opulence of it all. I think you can see that this
Mm.
money, which is Johnny, where it stays in that league. So, yeah,
And
Johnny just
where,
stays there.
where is it taking the brand? Where is it taking the Johnny Walker brand or Johnny Walker as a brand now with these designs?
Yeah, this might be on the fence.
What does that mean?
So, if I see the bottle and I'm 50, I'd say no. But if I see the packaging, I'll be like, okay.
I think I would tend to disagree with you there, because if I see this bottle and I'm 50, I might have, like, when I was still young, seen the old Johnny Walker bottles with the old striding man, and it would take me back, you know.
Mm.
But then also the packaging also says, you know, from the gift packs, yeah, that it's still the same Johnny
It's
Walker that
still
I'm drinking, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I think in that sense, the older crowd would still find this very appealing because they'll have the story to tell. There are travel stories that they've had and so on, and also with that packaging, it's something that also communicates the brand very well as it is today.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's again choose an image quickly that represents how you feel, you know, about this design.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. It's quite a lot.
I'll just let it go away.
Okay. Can I have the ones that, once you choose it, in the badge? Choose one. Okay. Tell me about the number, the image, and what emotion does it represent?
Okay, I chose 43. It's a global tool. It's like, that's all I'm seeing. It's a global tool, like for entertainment throughout. And it just, I think this just popped up and I just felt like it would make sense. It's, you know, the brand, it doesn't really change, but the reality is it's going to be in different places. So I think from the concept to the packaging and the way I see it here, for me, I think it's just,
And how do you feel about that?
it's a party. Because
Mhm.
right now, there's fireworks, there's everything from the packaging to here. You can just see that this is just a vibe. It's all about party.
Oh, okay. I chose 83,
Mm-hmm.
which are golden balloons. So the golden, meaning it's still maintaining its heritage and still maintaining its class and elegance. But on the second end, the double play is the party element that's coming to the table. So it's a double play of things. That's how I see it.
Okay. All right. And how do you feel about that?
I feel it's great. It's a delicate balance.
Okay. All right.
So I chose number 30. I thought it's still the same, but it's different. Like it stands out, you know.
So the same being the.
As in, like it's a zebra like all the other zebras,
Mhm.
but it stands out. You know, it's unique.
Okay. Alright.
I chose 52, which is young and old sitting together. I feel like the direction that they want to go with this 200-year anniversary is to take it as a launchpad to also appeal to the young and old, the young as much, and still keep the old crowd with the packaging that they have here, and also appeal to ladies as well. And I think it's they should just go for it.
Picked 114, and basically it's people, well, it looks like a family. I'm assuming at dinner, and we have different generations from grandfather to father to children. So I would say because of the grandfather, he's able to tell a story, as you mentioned that, you know, from the old Johnny Walker all the way to the revolutionary modern guy. And it's catchy with the kids because of the colors. It's more youthful, of course. And yeah, definitely that's the main thing is that it should simply the evolution of Johnny Walker.
I chose 102. Basically, it's also like a family. Also, so like basically what you said about like the evolution, and also and it's possible for each family member to tell like a story of a certain point of their life with each bottle, depending on how old they are, so or how like. So it's possible for them to tell like a certain story. So not even with regards to the bottle. So they might see certain things on the bottle and just be like, oh, I remember this was a certain time. This was certain things that were happening around that time and all of that stuff.
So how different are they now, you know, Johnny Walker compared to your Jameson, you know, to your Jack Daniels now, you know, how different would you say to your Valentine's, yeah?
I think they're a step above in terms of class within
Yeah.
itself. So the other ones you can't just find it on a normal prior with someone just pulls out a Jameson or Valentine's and no one's really gonna go. Whereas a Johnny, you notice and you're like, alright.
So this is saying that they are a step above
Yeah,
the,
they're just
the rest.
they're the monarchy to the normal civilians.
Okay, alright. And the rest of you, how do you think they compete?
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, alright. So would you buy this?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Definitely.
In which context could I just ask?
I don't know. You buying it for yourself? Are you buying it as a gift? So we're talking about this design now. Yeah.
Not for consumption per se, because of what it looks like and what it represents to me, but as gift and something I store.
You store to
Definitely.
keep. So store as in not the empty bottle with the contents.
With the content, because this looks like it will appreciate at some point in 20,
Yes.
30 years,
Yeah.
as opposed to the previous ones
One,
where
okay.
they're more.
Alright, and the rest of you, would you buy this?
I would, but like I mentioned, for my own collection, I'd buy all four. It's just one of those that as a gift, at least if you've got the story to tell all around the bottle, I can gift someone like
Who would you
this.
gift this?
Associate. I think there's a few people who I feel would be able to find something here of resemblance.
What
know?
do you think they would think? The people that you're having in mind. What do you think they would think about it?
Well, my kind of crew, like, party a lot,
Party
you know
a
what
lot.
I mean? Yeah, that's why I'm like, sometimes at some point when I was looking at this, it's one of those things that I was like, it reminds me of like an advert for a theme, say for this year's Devon July or the Jane B. Met or whatever. So I feel like, you know, whenever they throw out colors when it comes to themes or theme parties, there's a lot of things that I can pick up.
Okay.
You know, it's quite bright and colorful.
What about the rest of you, Musa? Would you buy it?
You know, I would buy it to keep it at home, like he said, but I would not buy it at a club or while out at a restaurant and put a bottle that looks like this on the table. But like you said, this is something like you would buy because in the next 20 years it looks like something that you would really appreciate. But definitely not buy it and sit out there somewhere.
As a gift? Would you buy it? If you look at the gift packs?
I honestly don't know anybody who would appreciate this. No.
I think if I do meet someone that's into Johnny Walker, like the whole history and culture, yes, I would. But to say happy birthday, no. But I buy for myself as a collector's item. I wouldn't mind drinking it. But to say I once upon a time had this limited edition vibe, definitely, I'll definitely have it.
Okay, alright. So this is, you about you, Kwezi?
I would also buy it to keep like all four, just a nice display of the journey. You know, yeah.
So this would show that whole thing.
Mm.
Now, so thinking about like the whole thing again, just to quickly recap, what would you say? Let me read what they had in mind, what the brief was, and then you can tell me. So this is P, right? It says, in celebrating our 200th birthday, Jolly Walker launches a series of limited edition gift packs featuring bold and colorful illustrations that celebrate the striding man walking through the past, present, and future. That was the brief. So, is it coming across?
Yeah, we spoke about the
No, they
evolution.
got that bush.
They got it. Here they is.
Yeah, the
This
evolution
is
does
the
come
evolution.
across. Yeah.
They've got that.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what would you say? What are the the strengths, of this, and what are the weaknesses? So this is P, right? Strengths.
Evolution.
But then they also maintain the sort of heritage as well.
Approach to a new market.
Clear message.
Clear message.
The packaging was new, but like, I don't know, original.
New but
Yeah.
original.
Yeah.
This is bold.
Bold.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Celebration.
Celebration.
And travel.
Travel as well. Okay. The weaknesses?
It's these two packages.
Yeah. Maybe they can work on black and gold.
Yeah, not gold on black, because that's how
Or
it
even
went.
the pink as well on this gold.
But that's what you say, work on the two gift packs.
Yeah.
Work on the gold and the black gift
Yeah.
packs, okay? Because
I think with the gold, your traditional gold guy who's sitting in a cigar lounge, I don't think the pink will work.
okay, because of the pink kind of on the gold.
It's like goes about class and wealth, then the pink just downgrades that
Yeah.
whole point.
Okay. So just work on that. So there's no any other weakness that you see?
I do actually on the gold. I'm
Yes, but we're
It's
saying
yeah.
work on the black and the gold.
Yeah.
But besides that, is there any other weakness in terms of the pack designs?
Oh.
No, I can't think of.
No? Okay.
Oh, good.
All good. Thank you. Let's move on to the next one. You.
Yeah, what's up with the pink on the gold? Because even the previous packaging.
Did it have pink on it?
Yeah, they had the color blocking guy.
Oh yeah. Blue and the yellow.
The striding man was wearing pink pants and
Ladies.
yeah.
Okay, so again now I'll be showing you idea R. So you can come close and then you'll write there. So your 3 words. So again, looking at these. And then you come and fill in your self-completion, where you write design 3. The 3 words or phrases. busy. It's cut. Participants are. Put this one, please. Okay, words quickly. What do you have?
I've got both. It's a bit too much, but it's original.
Okay.
I've got the red label at the bottom looks classic, beautiful. Other ones cheap, color design and bad packaging, to be honest.
Yeah, I have a safe design, and the celebration is clearly marked on these ones. And it's just that the bottle for me would not be worth keeping.
Okay.
I thought it was bright and colorful, and it sticks to the traditional design. And also, yeah, for the red, I thought it was more for like the bar, you know, because of the bottle is upside down.
I put the red. Red was awkward. I couldn't understand the ball upside down. I actually thought there was an error there. And then with these ones, I thought, with the celebration, people like to identify the Johnny Walker with the guy. He must be big. He must be there. I thought they were sucker in terms of advertising that they are Johnny. It's more everything else was just the blue. Yeah, they were sucker.
I said originality, simple, and also not as exciting like for like 200 years. I mean, it looks like your normal bottle.
What do you think of this design? What do you think Johnny Walker's trying to tell you here?
I don't think we needed those guys going across, but these little Johnny Walkers. And I feel like the stamp it just messed up the maturity.
The stamp, they keep
The whole
keep walking.
Yeah, like we know.
Yeah,
It's Johnny Walker keep
it's
walking.
messing up the whole thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so they keep walking.
I thought the 200 years does come across in the branding, but it's also like Sfiso said, it's very safe and boring.
Yeah, it seems like they want to emphasize that we're having the 2 year 100 year, because from the packaging, the box, I'm assuming this is the box.
No, this is just this is the box. I mean, this is.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
yeah. They want to make it known that 200 years, but also now with the safe packaging that everybody's accustomed to. I'm not sure about the bottles inside though.
So,
Is this one different bottles? Oh yeah, it's different bottle. Yeah.
What do you mean different bottles?
No, that one was one bottle.
Yeah.
This is
Yes.
obviously
Yes.
okay.
Yes. Okay.
as opposed to the other bottles that tell like a kind of story of like, okay, the first one I was talking about like the different like event, what events, and also the second one I was talking about the how far like they've come. Like this is just like simple and boring. Like,
This is
it's
just
not-
simple and boring.
Yeah, it's like it's the bottle that you buy, but like you don't mind like just giving it out as a gift to anyone also, and also
You can finish it the
and
same
yeah,
night.
you finish it the same night.
I think as Sifiso mentioned that for here the 200 celebration is quite clear on this one, but it's not the bottle that you would want
The
to keep.
number's clear,
The
not
number
the
is clear,
celebration.
not the
celebration.
celebration. Okay.
And also, like compared to the other ones, it also I don't find it very appealing to a younger crowd.
This is okay. So this is not appealing to a younger crowd. What else? What would you say about uniqueness or distinctiveness on this design?
I just feel they tried too much. Like I promise you, these small little guys, I didn't need them.
So you're saying those small little
Yeah,
guys walking, it's
we
just
know
too much.
Johnny Walker.
I actually think it's okay.
But
The only problem I have is with the bottles, covering up the whole bottle
With the little working
with
man.
the packaging.
Mhm.
I don't know that.
also are the little working guys all around the bottle, even at the back.
Okay, what would you?
So is it possible
I
to say
think-
that like there are 200 working people on the bottle?
Okay,
Maybe.
maybe.
Yeah, so
Mhm.
that's what I was asking. So maybe
Mm.
like they're trying to
Mm.
play on that and be like, send 200.
Mhm.
also, I don't feel like it takes you through a journey.
You don't see a journey.
Yeah, because if the theme was like you were reading out earlier, that it takes you through the journey of whiskey for 200 years all around the world, I don't feel that you get that feeling.
What do the rest of you think about that idea, you know, that it's just they're saluting that whole 200-year celebration, and that...
I'd say the concept has been abandoned in this one. There's no legacy, there's no heritage. It's not telling you where they came from the black and white guy to what he looks like now. This is just bottles covered and we're done. With the same the same guy all the way through what it looks like. So to me, it doesn't even show the vintageness. Like the other one had that
There's no
that older
vintageness
guy,
on this.
you know. This is
And
just,
the actual branding, remember, it looked like it was more ancient. This looks more revised.
this looks like a stamp actually,
Yeah.
like a stamp at the office, like boom. I don't know. Yeah,
And with the
it's-
gift packs, if you're looking at the gift packs as opposed to the bottles,
they look the same too.
they look the
Look
same
the
to
same,
you.
yeah.
So
I like the little man on the gift pack on this one. This one in particular, I think, with the...
the little man works on the gift pack, but not like they were saying, not
Yeah,
on,
no,
on the
yeah,
bottles.
no,
Okay. So let's look at the entire range. Leave it, put it, because we've got them anyway on top of these.
They never go wrong with the blue one.
Yeah, no, blue is.
My question is this red is done on purpose? This upside down is done on purpose.
It's just like the black sheep of like the family.
And picked up even when you place these ones, it was upside down. It's upside down there. When you placed it underneath here, it's upside down. And even as a collage here, it's still upside down.
It is upside down, right?
Yeah.
Are you able to tell us quickly what the
What do
idea?
you think?
I mean, that's what a bottle looks like when it's at a bar, right?
Yeah, it looks cheap.
Yeah.
Cheaper bottle just gets squeezed at the top.
I just think if we were to compare it to the previous packaging that we saw, this just becomes red label cheap again.
It's too bland.
It's too
Yeah,
bland.
it's just-
And also, it's not exciting enough to appeal to that whole like pop-up parties kind of.
So it's not
yeah,
that.
it looks
Mhm.
too, relaxed.
This is more
Yeah,
relaxed. It
yeah.
doesn't fit with that pop-up parties they were
Yeah.
talking about in the idea.
Whereas the blue shows exclusivity, there's some sense of iconic box when you get this.
And the gold, when you're looking at it now, in terms of the
I'm not sure what they're trying to do with the pink. Like I said, I think they may be trying to attack ladies, but for me, it doesn't really appeal to me. Yeah, the black is still bold. The black is still bold. It's the Johnny Walker that we know. I would go for that. I'm disturbed by the bottle of the red upside
the
down.
upside down bottle
Yeah.
is just
But-
confusing. There.
But what I must say, this doesn't strike me as limited edition 200
Yeah.
year celebration.
Nothing says
Very
limited
true.
No,
edition.
this is like the Christmas packaging that you get every year. Nothing different.
Yeah, it looks seasonal.
Yeah.
As a book, it's like it's 200 years, like.
So this is more seasonal, and
Yeah.
like so in where would this fit? You know, if you're talking.
I mean, you can take it to like a bride, you know, picnics, and all of that stuff. So it's because obviously you don't because as opposed to those ones, because of the branding and everything, like there's more value. You attach more value to the bottle and all of that. But with this one, you actually don't mind taking it and you give it into like
And what are they saying? What is this telling you about Johnny Walker?
It's got an army walking now.
It's got an army walking now. Is this clearly Johnny Walker?
I think this is just too safe, man.
Too safe.
It's just
Okay.
too safe.
And the rest of you? What do you think? And what says too safe about these?
I mean, the only thing that's added extra here is just the stamp, and that's it. What I mean, for me,
The 200.
yeah, you
yes,
just put the
stamp.
stamp here, and you just overwrote the keep walking. Okay, this is not necessary. On this one, for instance, I'll say this is not even necessary. this is not
So
necessary.
they keep, we were talking about that
Like-
keep walking doesn't fit like you were saying. It's not
3
necessary.
times on this one packaging. I
Mm.
mean, keep walking here, keep walking here, and keep walking here.
And at the
Mm.
bottom there.
Whoa, like wow, no,
Yeah,
it's,
you know,
it's just.
Johnny Walker.
Yeah, the imagery here is too ordinary. There's nothing new that strikes you. Unlike the other ones, you know, there was fireworks, there was hot air balloons, there was a journey around the world. There's like different themes in one bottle, but here there's like compared to the Johnny Walker bottle that you get today, there's no new imagery. That's why I find that it doesn't really communicate a celebration of 200 years.
Would you buy this? No?
If I wanted it and it was there, yeah, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily just say I'm going to buy this as a collector's item or to
Mm.
just.
Yeah.
It's not appealing.
Mm.
I mean, it looks exactly the same as what I would have had this year when
Mm.
it comes out next year.
So there's
it's-
nothing special about it.
Yeah, there's nothing appealing. It can pass me by, man. It's one of those things that it's
Mm.
like it's okay.
Just forget.
Yeah.
It's like it's forgettable. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Mm. So it doesn't, you're saying doesn't fit to that idea.
It was like it was made by scientists. There's no emotion behind this. There's no celebratory factor. This is just standard off the shelf. Get it out, boom, let's go. You couldn't even throw this away. I think after you're done by mistaking it for the normal one. There's no passion there. It's just the job got done basically.
I mean, if there was like maybe like some signature of some sort, like maybe like a personal
That
kinda
exclusive,
touch.
yeah.
It's kind of touched to it. So like, let's say maybe like the original founder of Johnny Walker, when he was writing his stuff, he had like a signature when he used to do, and like also there was like a stamp of his signature somewhere on the bottle or something like that. Just something with a personal touch on it that just makes you feel like, okay, I'm part of the Johnny Walker family's 200 years and all of that. But it's just
Yeah?
I just haven't done, just to add on to what you're saying, that was quite intriguing. If I'm not mistaken, it was GH Mom that had some deal with Usain Bolt. I had a lot of my friends actually just buy the champagne just because it had that, it's a printed signature for that matter, you know. It's not like it's a personalized autograph. It was just on the bottle, and I just figured some people actually just bought it. My friends, I know some of them bought it and kept it in their houses just because of the Usain Bolt signature.
But there's nothing that says.
No, but I'm saying I'm adding on to what he's
What
actually
he's saying,
saying, that give it a bit of a twist to
Twist
it, you know,
to it,
something that would make it. You can try and keep it this like this, maybe if you want to play it safe, but something more iconic, something more sentimental that makes it more personal to it.
What is the saying about Johnny Walker?
originality.
Originality. So there's still that originality. Okay. So this is yeah.
And I feel like because we've seen like the other ones, so like we're actually like judging this one. So like ideally, like if they were to come out with this one and be like, okay, like we'll just be like, okay, fine, it's for like the regular whiskey drinker and all of that stuff. So yeah, they're playing it safe. Like you wouldn't really like, but like after seeing like those other ones and the potential.
So this was the brief for this one. It says, in celebration of our 200th birthday, Johnny Walker proudly launches a series of bold graphical limited edition designs inspired by the iconic striding man and our keep walking philosophy.
I don't see how the brief would be achieved by this bottle. This bottle, they just put cheap plastic. Looks like it.
So
That's it. They just blue label. Let's just put, and it's supposed to be expensive and exclusive, not that.
I think they took the brief a little too serious about the keep walking.
Yeah,
They
put
take it too seriously.
soldiers, thousands of soldiers marching.
It's an army, dog.
Okay.
It's an entire army.
So what would you say if you had to write it down? What are the strengths? What are the weaknesses?
I'd say strength of the originality. They kept it original.
And it's safe, like someone said.
Okay. Anything else?
They're walking. They kept to their brief. Like,
No,
Really well.
they on the bottle they keep on telling us keep walking. So I guess the message they were trying to get
yeah,
across.
they had to go across.
That they got across.
Yeah,
Okay.
but it was a bit too much because
Mm.
also like basically when you think Johnny Walker you think keep walking, so like you don't need them to actually
Yeah.
keep on telling you
Keep walking.
keep walking.
But so the strength that keep walking, that it got across, but you're saying also it's also a weakness
Yeah.
that it was too much. Okay. Any other strengths?
Those stamps look like a mistake. As
So that's a weakness.
yeah, even the
Okay.
upside down bottle.
Not even the packaging on the bottle looks cheap.
Packaging looks cheap.
The imagery is very standard.
And just to double check on this, so these colors will be coming out on the Johnny Walker Blacks.
Yes.
But you see, they've got that contrast feel as well. I mean, this color is red. It would resonate with the Johnny Walker red because they have it within their range. This color is blue. It would resonate with the blue. This is a yellow/gold. And now, when I saw this one, because I went back there and I was like, okay,
The
but
white one.
yeah, because throughout the pitch, you were indicating that no, this is what you're going to find within the black label. But now, there's already a red label that I know of. So when I see red label or I see a red packaging for Johnny Walker Black, it really gives your mind a little boggled a bit. Because obviously, if I'm saying this is a Johnny Walker Black label and I'm giving it to you, it's red.
Okay, let me have that. Just so lastly, I'll show you the app.
Sorry.
Thank you. Can take it out of it. Yeah, let's see. This is the other design and of to gift boxes.
Designers gift boxes. I would definitely buy this for myself, and
I just don't understand what's this gray. Is it a shot glass or what?
it's a whiskey
decanter.
glass.
Oh.
I think it's a miniature. What is it? Is it a glass?
Oh, those are glass.
It's a
Glass.
shot
Yeah.
glass.
Glass, yeah.
It's a shot
It's
glass.
perfect.
Okay, so quickly put the words there. So this is, yes, the F design. So yeah, what do you think?
Elegant.
Mm-hmm.
I said opulence, classy, finesse.
No, I've got elegant as well.
I was like original.
Mhm. Original and classic. This was
Simple, bold, and original.
Yeah, original mature packaging as well.
Would you buy this as a gift?
100%.
Yeah.
What makes you say yes? I mean, everybody 100% yes, and all. What's that? Why is that?
Personally, I feel like first of all, this whole design looks like a rap thing on its own. It's presented to both old and young, I guess. It looks very limited edition. I like the gold, smooth as well. The blue is amazing, as always. So yeah.
Like you mentioned, it already looks like it's a gift wrap. It's
Yeah.
gift wrap, so it's already within the format of a gift. It's
The labels look like ribbons around the box, so that's quite nice.
And they come out.
And it has its colors.
And the pink is fine on this one.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
gonna
Oh, so
it's
now the
not
pink
too
is
much.
working.
The pink is fine. Yeah.
Pink is working on the gold now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, it works.
It works?
Yeah.
How unique does this feel though?
I've never seen something like this in my life.
Guys, does it
No,
feel-
you recognize it as soon as you see
Yes.
it, but you feel like it's brand new and elegant.
Mm.
But you do also recognize that this is Johnny Walker.
Mhm.
But it's you can see it's there, it's limited.
Mhm.
And it's very traditional as well. Like
Mm.
this is, I think, I mean, it's not very different to the current gift packs. So it wouldn't put off the traditional Johnny Walker drinker either. Yeah. So
So, what would you say then? How does it make you feel about Johnny Walker, the brand?
It's almost like something you have to qualify for. Like
Yeah,
I
it
don't,
makes
if
it
I'm,
look
if I'm
like it's
25, I
something-
won't
yeah.
buy that.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm too young.
Okay, if you're 25, you feel like you would need to qualify for
It's
that.
a reward.
It's a reward, okay? It makes you feel like Johnny Walker is a reward. How does it make you feel about Johnny Walker now?
I mean, they stay true to the like to the original. So like he said, like it's you can tell it's Johnny Walker, but also like there's something that just makes it like kind of unique also,
Mm.
so,
Okay.
And I also think that this will definitely also attract the younger generation because they all want to belong now, and black is
Yeah.
classy. Like they all want black cards, brand cards.
Mm.
This you also want this. I want this. You know?
Something that would
Yeah.
aspire to.
Yeah.
Okay.
The
And how-
only
yeah?
thing I have a big concern about, and it's a major concern, there's nothing that says 200 years.
Yeah.
Whether it's in writing
Yes.
or a concept, everything here is beautiful and classy.
Mm-hmm.
But then if we're doing this is what I would find on the shelves,
On the
I
shelves
believe,
now,
on
yes.
Easter and Christmas.
Mm.
But where's the 200, like where
Okay.
it literally says?
Okay.
You know, it doesn't have to be big, it can be a nice hint somewhere, you know?
Mm-hmm.
In one of the labels, maybe at the bottom here, where it can just
Yes.
say, instead of saying, we know it's a 12-year-old, you can have your 12-year-old wherever, but then
Mm.
let it say
The 200 to
200.
show some. And how does it compare with the rest of the designs we've shown?
It's the most elegant, but it says the least about the event itself.
Mm.
If it's talking about advertising about the 200th event, no, it speaks the least. That the memo got wrong. But with the gift wrapping and everything, it's telling you that an occasion is happening and it's celebratory, but
Mhm.
as in there's a gift being opened, so there is something. But
Mm.
yeah, what it is.
Okay.
it's also, I think, it's the standard imagery that we used to. There's nothing that strikes you in aligning with the 200-year celebration around the world. Sort of, yeah. So I don't feel that it communicates to that specific part of the brief.
Okay. So let's look at everything together then. Let's all right, so you placed it there on the table somewhere.
No.
I just want to put here.
Some tasting one bit would have been nice too.
look around. So including on what's on the table there. I'll put the two here and then the two on the table. Alright, so let's look at these and then let's look at what we have here. We can come up, look at each idea. So we'll look at T up on the wall and then R that's there. And then we'll look at F in terms of what we have here. Just ask the reception. You go to the left. Okay, so out of all of them, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Which one would you say?
This is
Is
now
the
for
one
the
for you?
anniversary, for the
Yes,
celebratory 200.
yes.
I think P for me, definitely.
So P. P for you too?
Yeah, T.
P, all right. Where's it?
I still like T.
You.
So T. So how many of you say P? Being the number 1, 1, 2, 3, 4 of you. So you like T, okay? And for the P, why? Why do you say this one would work? The story is being told.
I think it hits the objectives right. In terms of, it gets a bit of all the other ones in. Because this one is classy. That one's got the classy boxes, so it ticks this one's box.
Which one is which? Call them
As
by
in-
name again.
P
Mm.
speaks to the classiness of F,
Mm.
but covers the celebratory factor of T.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So I think it incorporates everything into one, which is telling the legacy, the story, the party that's going to happen, and still maintaining the elegance and the classiness of Red Label. Whereas the other ones have one aspect of each. Whereas
Okay.
it encompasses most of the.
So which one is for you when you're thinking about the 200th year, celebration? Out of these designs, which one? Is it R, is it P, T, or is it F?
I'd still say, which one is this?
P,
P.
P. So we've got 5 people going for P. Okay?
Yep.
All right. So and why is that, Siso, for you?
For me, it has summed up what you have here, the whole global concept.
Mhm.
Because if you look at the whole world, I mean, 200 years, and you're parting from north, south, east, and west.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I feel like they were able to actually capture that in the bottles as well.
I also have to agree with P.
With that, with P.
Yeah.
Okay. And what would be your second best?
It would be T, because I feel like T tells a story of the future.
Uh-huh.
But if you also if you're looking at marrying the traditional and the theme of the 200-year celebration, then you're definitely talking P.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And what about the rest of you? What would be your second best?
F.
You go for F. Okay, and you said just it must just
indicate that
indicate
it's
it's to
celebrating.
celebrating.
Because just by saying
Yes,
limited edition
yes.
design doesn't mean anything to me.
Okay, so it must just with the F. So 4 people are going for F, as you're saying it's because it's safe. And why else do you think would be the second best?
It looks limited.
Mm-hmm. It looks limited, and what does it say about Johnny Walker?
Keeps the class, keeps the wealth, keeps
Mhm.
the life.
Mm-hmm.
So
Louis, you also said F. What
Yeah,
did it
yeah,
say?
for second, yeah. And that's exactly what he said. Because for me, it still maintains everything that Johnny Walker's built itself to be, has maintained itself to be,
Mhm.
and the social circles which it tries to upkeep. It's elegance, yeah.
And the one that all of you went for, which is the P, and I'll just put just the range in front. So that's that range that you went for, and those bottles, because now we're all sitting down. Those are the ones that you went for, particularly as your number one. Does it impact how you see Johnny Walker as a brand? What does it say now about how you see Johnny Walker?
I think I would still rather want to incorporate some of this into that.
You want to incorporate some of the F into P.
Yeah.
But P as it is, what does it say about how you're seeing Johnny Walker now?
I never knew they had a lighter side,
Mm-hmm.
which is good.
Mm-hmm.
Whilst maintaining its elegance.
Okay.
Like there's a universal kind of image that's attached to Johnny
Mhm.
Walker now.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of in terms of the story it's telling, it's like something you didn't know, like what an interesting way to learn a story while drinking alcohol.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So and how are you seeing them executing this 200-year anniversary on this that the one that you like, this P?
Themed parties, I
Is
think, would work.
theme party would work, and is it clear enough though, like the anniversary year, the celebration, is it clear?
Yeah, here you would know that
Okay.
something is being celebrated.
Mm-hmm. Does it say limited edition?
Yes. Yeah, just 200
Yes.
alone, yeah.
Okay, it says limited edition.
Even the bottles design says it.
Mm-hmm.
Like that this is limited because it's only good at 200.
And are they saying collectible?
Storytelling and collecting.
Storytelling and collectible. Mm-hmm. Is it saying that collectible?
Collectible, but at the same time, it must also leave us with some memories.
Mhm.
If we're
Is it
gonna have
saying
these
that? Mm.
parties, at least that can happen as well as that.
But these packs, like you said, like this is the ones that you say you would take all 4 of them and put
And
them.
of course,
Yeah.
I would, because I would have them and still know that this maybe we
Mm-hmm.
also had a party in Joburg, Durban, and Cape Town, just in South Africa only, and this was a concept. So it will also leave that Johnny Walker, when they turned 200, there were 3 major events in this particular country, and wherever else that they go, if it's the same thing, it's uniform. So even in the next few years, you bump into other people, and then you have the discussion, oh, I went to the one in New York, I was in Brazil, I was wherever. You know what I mean? So it's a global thing. If you're going to make it like that, I'd say it will give us even more memories. Having it there, it's not just a collectible, but I feel like if it's going to be done universally, the way they speak of it,
They speak about it.
I'm telling you, I would never want to get rid of that bottle because I know very well what it would resemble for me.
So would you talk about this to your friends?
Yeah. You buy a bottle, you enter a competition, and you get drawn to get to this invitation.
So with F, if there was that 200, if they added that 200-year celebration into it, would you want to talk about it to your friends?
F is still boring.
Yeah.
So in terms of 200-year celebration,
Yeah.
P
This
would
would
be
be-
the
P definitely.
And then if we had to choose again 200 celebration, then would you still say F is your second choice? So if you're thinking about the idea there, what is written on the
I
page.
think in the absence of the best, F would come through as the second option for me.
to represent the idea that we were reading.
Yeah, in the absence of the best.
Not, yeah,
Yeah.
if it's second, we're looking second best,
Yeah.
we're looking at another option.
Yeah, I'd go with F still.
But I think F, I choose F because I just completely don't agree with the other two.
Yeah.
More than choosing
More
F.
than, okay. Okay, alright. Let me see if there are any questions at the back, otherwise we're done. Can you please, while I'm coming, can you collect these separately and these separately so that we have them in three, and your writings and drawings also separately?
Oh, you have to mark out drawings with our names.
You don't have, you can just put one. Thank you.
Drawings, there we go.
That's that file pictures there.
What's this?
That's here.
I think I put my picture
Do we
in
have this?
somewhere. No. Oh.
Thank you. Can I have the rest? Guys, thank you so much for your time. Dorman will sort you out at reception. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed your discussion.
Yeah, it was very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It was intriguing, I must say.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you.